During the events of the original No More Heroes, Travis Touchdown personally cut down 8 of the 11 assassins he encountered during his ladder climb to the top. And even though he didn't directly kill the other 3, they met their fate in one way or another. Everyone except one assassin, who Travis spared, feeling a kindred spirit-like connection to them, and the desire to want to face them later in life when they are older and stronger. This decision would help Travis in more ways than one, as the person he spared that day was Scarlett Jacobs, also known as the Ninja Assassin.
What's that in your hand? A toy?
Shinobu was a senior year student at Santa Destroy High School and the 8th ranked assassin in the United Assassins Association, until her defeat at the hands of the crownless king Travis Touchdown. From here on, she would train and stalk Travis until she finally grew a fondness towards him and ultimately decided to become one of his unseen servants, acting as a emperor's hand for him in one way or another. Though before we get too into that, we should discuss the meaning behind her name, her designs, and the names of her weapons. Shinobu, or Scarlett Jacobs, is a name that is both simple but yet very important. Of course, you have her assassin named Shinobu, being in reference to the literal term for a shinobi, which in itself is part of the Japanese word for ninja, who were stealthy assassins, spies, and mercenaries, famous for their role in the feudal era of Japan. Her name referencing ninjas is obviously a direct reference to her assassination style and her overall design. As we see from Shinobu's appearance, she wears a lot of outfits that are in direct reference to popular female subcultures in Japan, this being either Kogal or Gaoru culture and Gothic Lolita culture. The reason for this being due to her obvious connection to Japan, as her assassination style is Japanese by nature, and her father taught Japanese swordsmanship via VHS training videos. Though it's very possible that she was taking on the appearance of these subcultures due to a stealth technique taught to a lot of ninjas. This being where they are trained to adopt disguises based on regular, everyday people, as to not draw suspicion to yourself while planning your next assassination or gathering information. Hence why when Travis blows her cover as an assassin to her whole class, she kills them all as to keep her secret. Shinobu even makes mention after this scene about how hard it is to hide your true self among people.
You got no idea how hard it is to hide your true self around here.
Hey, I'm not accusing anybody.
Which would imply to everyone at the school she was nothing more than a normal, if not eccentric, high school girl. Along with this, she seems to be based off of Afro from Afro Samurai, as they are both black, have defining afros, and wield a katana, but this reference isn't all design alone, as their backstory and personality is quite similar. Shinobu and Afro are both hunting the man who killed their father, and are partaking in a game where they search for a #1 spot. They are also both very serious and stern, cold-blooded killers, and at times can be rather aloof due to their rocky upbringing. We also know that the outfits that Shinobu wears are nothing more than just disguises for her, as it's just something to help her blend in with society. As in Travis Strikes Back, we hear Shinobu say that she is not interested in video games and finds them hard to get into, yet in her Garu design for No More Heroes 1, she has keychains on the sheath of her sword 3 Girls Ramba of 3 characters from the in-universe Magical Girl Mecha franchise, Pure White Lover's Bizarre Jelly. Though speaking of 3 Girls Ramba, the meaning behind Shinobu's first katana is actually rather interesting, as it gets its name from the Wired song 3 Girls Ramba, which was part of the Pink Flag album, which, while being critically acclaimed, wasn't exactly a bestseller, but it did help the growth of hardcore punk and the post-hardcore eras of music, which No More Heroes is very much made in the image of. So it's a fun reference to an important album that helped make No More Heroes the game it is now. It could also be in reference to the 3 girls in Travis's life, that being Shinobu, Jean, and Sylvia, along with the 3 Jeans in his life, that being his sister, his cat, and his daughter. Now, Shinobu's real name, Scarlett Jacobs, is just as fun to dissect as her assassin name, starting first with the obvious, Scarlet, being a reference to the color of blood, as Shinobu, in her life as an assassin, has become quite bloodthirsty, though it's the Jacobs part of her name that isn't instantly understood, but it's seemingly a reference to Jacob's Ladder, as in No More Heroes 2, she wields a katana literally called Jacob's Ladder. But this is not a reference to the biblical story, but more so the super influential horror movie Jacob's Ladder, as much like the protagonist Jacob Singer, Shinobu finds it hard to return to everyday society after becoming an assassin, as she is plagued with a desire to fight stronger opponents and avenging her father, where Jacob Singer was plagued with horrible hallucinations and flashbacks on his return home from Vietnam. These two are trapped in an endless cycle of horror and psychological damage until someone comes to free them from their imprisonment. For Shinobu, her savior came in the form of a man named Travis Touchdown, who showed up at her school and challenged her to a duel. Though, when they finally fought, Shinobu assumed Travis was the man who killed her father, as he wielded a beam katana, which was the weapon used to slay him. Though, during their fight, Travis cuts off her arm and claims that he not only didn't kill her father, but he looked up to Master Jacobs as a mentor.
Whoa, whoa! Calm down a little. Jacobs was my mentor. I'd never kill him. I watched Master Jacobs' teachings on video over and over till the fucking tape wore out. We'd never met in person.
Though Shinobu wasn't too far off, as the man who really did kill her father isn't Travis, but actually his twin brother, Henry Cooldown, who not only wields a beam katana, but his form of execution is rather similar to the same form that killed Master Jacobs.
Ending. I never fought your father.
Liar! You killed him! Sliced him in two, you sick bastard!
Travis then chooses to spare Shinobu's life, claiming it's because he wants to fight her again when she's older and stronger, but later we find out that Travis has difficulty killing women, so it's likely the real reason why he spared her. Though we do know in No More Heroes 2 there's a bit of truth to both sides, as Travis was intending to honor Ryuji, the 7th ranked assassin in that game, after defeating him, and was furious at Sylvia when she gunned him down, though Shinobu doesn't take this defeat lying down, as she uses her well-honed ninja skills to stalk Travis from this point on, likely planning to attack him when his guard is down, but instead she learns that Travis not only didn't kill her father, but they actually have a lot in common, as not only were they both trained in part by her father, but they were both hunting down the person who killed their family by using the United Assassins Association as their proxy. I can even imagine that Shinobu, if she had made it to the #1 spot, would have Henry waiting for her instead of Jean, since Sylvia orchestrates both the rankings and the fights. Shinobu also slowly starts to develop feelings for Travis, considering him not only just a kindred spirit, but a master to follow the orders of such, even picking up some of his hobbies to a degree, assuming they were important to his style. And when Travis was nearly killed in his final battle with Jean, Shinobu jumps in at the last second to save him, allowing him to take the vengeance she had been so longing for all of her life, almost like she was achieving her goal vicariously through Travis. And this idol worship carries over into No More Heroes 2 Desperate Struggle, as in the 3-year gap between the two games, Shinobu has left the UAA completely, and dedicated herself to mastering her shinobi ways and becoming a master ninja, even going so far to become the champion of all of Asia by herself, which may in fact be a reference to when professional wrestlers leave their big companies to go hone their skills off in Japan, given that Suda51 is super into professional wrestling. We even see Shinobu's title as Master of Asia be represented by a championship belt, and she's fine with honing her skills until Sylvia reaches out to her and asks her if she's willing to ease Travis's burden on his desperate struggle to the top of UAA again. And Shinobu, being eager to help her self-appointed master, agrees to the deal. She goes out and kills 2 of the top-ranking assassins in Travis's place, allowing him to skip ranks while fighting others. This role in No More Heroes 2 is both Shinobu cutting down the past coming to haunt Travis with her killing Million Gunman, who is a reimagining of Dr. Peace, both by his rank, age, and golden gun, but also Shinobu proving herself as a better assassin, as she also cuts down the Neo Destroyman, who, if you remember, Destroyman ranked higher than her in the original game, so this is a visual representation of her growth as an assassin. Along with this, Shinobu begins to dress in a gothic Lolita fashion, as a way of attracting Travis's attention, as his anime hobbies and interests in series like Pure White Love Bizarre Jelly means that he might have a bit of a thing for Lolitas. She also now has a cybernetic arm that replaces the one that Travis cut off. This arm seems to be designed to reflect that of Luke Skywalker's cybernetic arm from Star Wars Return of the Jedi. This is reinforced by the fact that she lost her arm to someone who she originally thought killed her father, but turned out not to be true, which is the same for Luke in Empire Strikes Back, which is also reinforced by the fact that Empire Strikes Back was referenced a lot in the original game, as Travis, Jean, and Darkstar are obvious parodies of Luke, Leia, and Vader. Along with this, the single gloved aesthetic is in reference to Travis's own style, as it's even the same hand that she's only wearing one glove on. We also see, over that 3-year gap, Shinobu's been trying to wrap her head around the term moe, assuming it to be something that someone must possess to become powerful, and mocking those who don't have any of it.
Oh, Mama! No moe. Moe!
Though while saving when playing with her in No More Heroes 2, she makes a comment on not really understanding the term herself, likely only parodying it because of Travis.
What does moe mean?
Now, this misunderstanding of what moe means, but parodying it anyways, could be in reference to otaku subcultures, as over time, terms like moe slowly lose their meaning, since they aren't really well defined enough, and newer generations who pick up saying it use the word without really understanding why, much like what Shinobu does with the term itself.
Moe?
It's been watered down to such a point that some people equate moe to just meaning cute, like Shinobu equates it to being something that a warrior should have. No one really understands what the term means anymore. And when telling Travis about her experiences in the ranking fight, Shinobu opens up to him about her feelings, even giving him a kiss, which Travis openly rejects, saying,
I feel like that pervy teacher in a porn.
It didn't help that she wouldn't stop calling him master either. This rejection left Shinobu feeling slightly heartbroken, causing her to leave without much of a goodbye. But she made sure to deliver Travis Bishop's final gift. And this would be the last that Travis would see Shinobu till Travis strikes again, as Shinobu would go off and build a dojo within the Skid Row district of Santa Destroy, which is likely based off the real-life Skid Row district of Los Angeles, since Santa Destroy is seemingly based off of LA. Shinobu would pick this area because, as she describes it, it's somewhere where people can be themselves openly without judgment, even if the area is a bit unseemly. She would then use this dojo to help teach the kids of the Skid Row the ways of Bushido as a way to make them grow stronger, but also discipline. Basically, she went out of her way to make sure that these kids, down on their luck, got the family she never got to have. Even going so far as to hide the fact that the dojo is built with blood money. But 8 years later, Travis would disappear from the world, and Shinobu would attempt to locate him, wanting to reconnect and possibly train with her master. She found him in his trailer, far away from the world, appearing only after Travis finishes the final death ball, dressed in a very similar way to the bride from Kill Bill, which is actually kind of interesting, as the bride's outfit is actually based off Bruce Lee's outfit in Game of Death, and Shinobu wears this outfit when she goes into a Game of Death in the form of the death balls, though we know it's based on the bride's outfit, as Shinobu continues to use her katana, very similar to the bride herself. It also makes sense that Shinobu would wear an outfit based off the bride, since Shinobu both mastered her blade and her ninja skills in order to take revenge, much like the bride did herself in Kill Bill. Though in her journey to find Travis, she accidentally leads a group of assassins being led by Henry to Travis's location. But to make it up to him, and also because he didn't want to fuck up his trailer, Shinobu leads them away from it to her dojo, where here, quote, foreshadowing for the next game happens. And so hopefully that foreshadowing is paid off in No More Heroes 3. I especially hope we see more of Shinobu in 3, doubly so since that whole unaddressed conflict between her and Henry that hasn't really been brought up in any way. Maybe it will get brought up in the next game, and maybe it will even be the finale of her character, hopefully followed up by a duel between the two. In fact, since they were both playable characters in 2, it could be neat to see maybe a branching path system where you get to choose who survives or something, and by choosing who survives, you choose who to play in certain levels, but we'll have to see when No More Heroes 3 finally comes out. And if you enjoyed this video and want to see more videos like it in the future, I have a Patreon at patreon.com/MetiNotTheBadGuy. And if you want to discover what moe is, well, first you have to buy a copy of Shimoneta at buyshimoneta.com, pick yourself up a copy of Shimoneta, you'll discover the true meaning of moe and gain that moe that you truly need.